Hi, welcome to At the Coolidge. And we're speaking with Karin Oehlenschläger. Yes?
Almost perfect.
Almost perfect.
Yeah.
About the new film series from the Goethe-Institute of 3 German films that will be playing here at the Coolidge. Runaway Horse, War Child, and the Kebab Connection?
Kebab Connection.
Yeah, okay. So I think what we'll talk about is, the state of German film and well, first let's talk about what you do at the Goethe-Institute with film. You say you have an archive there of
Yeah,
film.
I personally am the film programmer. Yeah, I do the film program. The Goethe-Institute every year brings over many German films and also directors.
And archives them.
And the archive is in Germany, and all the Goethe-Institutes worldwide, there are about 140. We have access to this archive, and we order them, and they ship them over wherever they are needed, and they're screened. Yeah,
and you've had them all subtitled and ready for an English audience.
We subtitle them. They're 35mm prints or DVDs. We're building up a big DVD archive also now. And every film that doesn't have distribution in a foreign country, that is a smaller film or that is just not a commercial, success, or it's just not picked up at festivals, we acquire the rights and we screen them.
And the ones that are at festivals, what's the
Well, the festivals, I mean, you never know which ones get picked up by an American distributor. There are many small distributors who do show German film. Right. And I think what I heard lately is that foreign films are becoming a little more successful in the States. It's always hard because people have to read the subtitles. But with text messaging and all this instant messaging on computers, people are more used to read.
Really?
And that's what I heard, and that they're
or the crawl at the bottom of the television that you can't get rid of
there's
anymore.
so much text now everywhere, and so they might be more willing to see foreign films and read the subtitles.
And it's normalizing the experience of having 2 things happening at the same time.
Right. So we are hoping for more interest now.
Or of course, also as American society sort of sinks down a little bit, not only prestige, but in a lot of ways.
Yeah. It's just so hard to compete against Hollywood, it's just,
True, but I think Americans need perspective outside of our own films and outside of our own stories, and I think that might have some impact as well. Our stories aren't working. Those old mythologies aren't holding anymore.
It's always the same scheme, the Hollywood scheme, it's kind of gets, you know how it ends. And
and you know what the arc is going to be.
Right.
I would prefer to see our actors that I don't know, fascinating faces.
Right, and you also learn so much about the world. When you see films from a country, you just German films, you learn about German society, what's going on there right now, political stuff. Things that move like our films here at the Coolidge. There are 2 migration films, and that's a big issue in Germany right now. With the Turkish minorities, like War Child, is
about
the Bosnian War. The woman gets separated from her 2-year-old
part of a
daughter.
trilogy, am I right?
It's part of a trilogy.
Yeah,
It's a second film in a trilogy, and it's about this 30-year-old woman who's searching for a child who has been adopted by German foster parents, and without she ever agreeing to that. It was just taken. It was an orphan. People thought it's an orphan, and a couple adopts it, and she tries to find her daughter in Germany. And
is this symptomatic of something in Germany, or is this something that will resonate with
the Bosnian
Germans?
War, Kosovo? Yeah, that has, I think, lots of people immigrated to Germany during that time. Has been affected. I mean, Austria, Germany were countries where people fled to, to escape the war.
Right, something that we don't have to deal with here. We don't have those stories. Yeah. Maybe we have the story of some immigration stories, The Visitor, or Under the Same Moon, are all about immigration situations, but nothing is.
But it's very close, geographically. It's not very far. Right. And the movie also shows this illegal, how she crosses the border into Europe, and this is. She kind of lives outside of Europe, and then as soon as she's in Europe, everything, people have money and life is so different, and it's not far. It's just, like Texas, Mexico, something. Yeah.
And this is War Child.
This is War Child, the November film. And the Kebab Connection, for example, is a comedy. It's a totally different treatment of this subject. But
with a script by, if I'm pronouncing it right, Fatih Akin.
Right. Who did Head On, Crossing the
Edge of
Bridge.
Heaven,
Edge of Heaven just recently.
which if people out there in Webland or wherever we are haven't seen those movies, extraordinary films.
Yeah,
really
Fatih
beautiful
Akin,
films.
yeah. He's, I mean, he grew up in Germany, he lives in Hamburg, you know, he is more or less a German director, but of course Turkish, of Turkish parents,
Yeah.
and
And that's what a
his
lot of those
subject.
are about.
That's his subject, yeah. Turks living in Germany, Turkish-German relationships. Yeah,
Some of the most breathtaking films I've seen this year are his. Head On,
amazing.
really surprised me. You're really taken for a ride. And Edge of Heaven.
Yeah.
You don't know where that film is going to go. So Kebab Connection is a comedy,
It's
and he
a
worked on
very
the screenplay.
funny, yeah.
So what is the context of that?
Well, they live in, it's a couple. He's Turkish, she is German. She's very practical, hands-on person, and he's kind of a dreamer, and he wants to be a big movie director, and he's doing this, you know, kung fu movie there, and has big dreams, and he's doing a commercial for his uncle's, you know, Turkish fast food restaurant.
A lot of food in his movies sometimes, it seems to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, Anno Saul is the director of this one.
All
Yeah.
right.
So. Yeah, he's just, you know, goofing around, and he's funny, and then she's pregnant all of a sudden, and he's faced with this responsibility, and he's totally, you know, doesn't know how to deal with it, and it's